Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today we're going to talk about a small company that is run by two outstanding watchmakers, and we'll talk about them in a second. But what I want to focus on, this watch called l'État de vérité. And that means a moment of truth. But the important thing about this watch is that it uses a spring called the tensator mainspring. And what it does, the way it works is like a one of the it has two different barrels. And one of the barrels, when you turn it, it keeps the spring taut. Okay, keeps them at the same kind of tension. And one of the big problems is, of course, is that when you run a watch, the mainspring is very forceful at first, and then it sort of runs out of juice later on. And there've been a lot of attempts to do that. And I think one way we can look at it is that if we take a measuring tape and pull it out, when we pull out a measuring tape, essentially we're winding a watch, okay? And when we let it go, it unwinds. Now, you can think of that as this one as a tape measure pulling in the spring, whereas this one is unwinding it. But remember, when you let go, this is unwinding. That's not winding. It looks like it's winding, but it's not. It's really unwinding the pressure on the spring. So that's essentially how that works. Now the problem is this thing has been used in industry, and it's been used in clocks too. But how do you get that to work within a wristwatch? Well, Oscillon figured that out, and they have these. You can see it in this picture. This picture is from Quill and Pad. They have a tensator type of constant force in there. And on the upper of the two barrels is the one that is pulling the other one to keep the tension and the rate of charge, you might say, constant. And then the lower one is the one that you can see it's connected up to. It's driving the gear train on it. Now, the guys that make this, this is their workshop, and all of the tools they have, and they collected these tools that are essentially for handmade doing the work. Abraham Louis Breguet could walk in there, and in 10 minutes he could recognize all of the tools, because the two guys running it, one is named Dominic Busser, and the other is Cyrano Davante. And these two guys, they've done some other things. I think one of them worked on one of the opus that Harry Winston had, and they've worked with some of the tip-top guys in the field. And they're very good. They're among the best. And they are one of the few true handmaking watch masters, right? Watchmakers, yes, but they're masters of watchmakers. The lower right hand, you can see the handmade hourglass shaped balance. Now that doesn't look like a balance. Balances are round. Well, they decided to have one shaped like an hourglass. And since they're doing everything by hand, they can do it. Here is going back to the first view we had. You can see on the right there the view of the back of the movement, and right at the top there's the hourglass. That's the balance wheel, and the balance cock is there. It's sort of a triangular looking thing, and the rest of the watch there. You can see one of the barrels, but you can't see both of them and working together, because that would take another view. You'd have to cut more away to see that. But the thing about this, though, is that it's an ingenious but very difficult type of constant force to work with. And being a handmade watch, these are not inexpensive. These cost about 165,000 Swiss francs. So it's not something that everyone's going to have, but such an interesting thing. I'm always interested in this kind of technique as the constant force solution that maybe someday find its way into something more affordable. Anyway, let me know what you think about it. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. And also, this is an invitation to subscribe if you'd like. Till next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection.